Ever get that weird feeling you're seeing the same stuff online over and over again? Well, have you ever stopped to wonder about the invisible forces that are, shaping your online world? What if the content you see every single day isn't just what you've chosen, but what's been chosen for you? Let's dive into this thing called the algorithmic echo chamber and see how it's really shaping our online lives.
You know this feeling, right? It's becoming so common. You could be connected to literally thousands of people online. You're engaging with this constant, never-ending stream of updates, but then the second the screen goes dark, this really unsettling feeling of emptiness and isolation can just creep in. It's a huge paradox of our modern lives.
And yeah, that paradox is really the central question we're tackling here. We have more tools than ever to connect with anyone, anywhere in the world. And yet, so many of us are reporting that we feel more disconnected than ever before. So what's really going on here?
Well, Professor Gul Ezra Atale has this fantastic term for it, crowded loneliness. And just think about it for a second. You see it everywhere, on the subway, in a coffee shop, maybe even at your own dinner table. People are physically right next to each other, but mentally, they're miles apart, each one completely absorbed in their own personalized feed. It's this kind of loneliness that's really hard to spot from the outside, because, we're technically surrounded by people all the time.
Okay, so a huge part of this feeling of being disconnected actually comes from the very technology that's supposed to bring us all together. The platforms we use every day are run by these incredibly complex algorithms. So let's pull back the curtain a little bit and see how these systems actually work to build our digital reality.
The main idea we need to get our heads around is the filter bubble. Basically, it's this state of, intellectual isolation. It's created when an algorithm takes a guess at what you want to see based on everything you've ever clicked on, liked, or watched. Then, it just feeds you more and more of the same, which effectively creates this unique, personalized little universe of information just for you.
Now, this is a really important distinction to make. A filter bubble is passive. It's invisible. It's built for you by code without you really doing anything. An echo chamber, on the other hand, is more active. That's what you build yourself when you choose to follow people and groups you already agree with. But here's the thing. They often work together, right? They reinforce each other, making our world seem smaller and smaller.
So, how exactly is this bubble built? It's actually a surprisingly simple three-step loop, which was described by Eli Parzer. First, the platform just gathers tons of data to figure out who you are. Second, it starts serving you content that's tailored to that profile. And third, and this is the crucial part, it watches your every click, every pause, every interaction to constantly refine its predictions, making that bubble stronger and more specific to you.
And if you want to understand the scale of that data collection, just look at this. It's wild. A study found that searching for a single, pretty sensitive word like depression can trigger over 223 to be exact, tracking cookies to be placed on your device. That data then follows you all around the web, fueling the very algorithms that decide what ads, news, and content you see. Absolutely everywhere.
So, this constant invisible curation, it's not free. It comes at a psychological cost. Let's dig into how this really impacts our emotional well-being and our very sense of human connection.
A lot of our online life can feel, transactional. We're just going through the motions, liking, scrolling, posting this perfectly curated version of ourselves. And that's such a stark contrast to a real interaction, right? Which is built on being authentic, on vulnerability, and just genuine care. It really is the difference between just tallying up connections and actually truly connecting. And that's the bottom line. This focus on quantity over quality fundamentally changes our relationships. We collect hundreds, maybe even thousands of friends, but a lot of these are just, as the slide says, mere connections. The time and the emotional energy that real friendship requires, that just gets pushed to the side in favor of the endless scroll.
And this just nails a core human truth, doesn't it? We are hardwired to connect with other real people. Our online personas and these carefully built brands we create can actually become barriers to that fundamental need we all have for authentic human-to-human relationships.
And look, it's not just a feeling. The science completely backs this up. Major research confirmed that while, virtual tools can help bridge distances, nothing, and I mean nothing, replaces the benefits of face-to-face interaction. It's considered the gold standard for a reason. It offers this rich layer of nonverbal cues and shared experience that digital stuff just can't replicate.
This quote really drives the point home. Reaching out to someone, trusting them, being vulnerable, these aren't just nice things to do. They're not just choices.
They are fundamental human needs. And when we deny them for the sake of these shallow digital transactions, it has a real, tangible impact on our well-being.
Okay, so if we're kind of stuck in this cycle, how do we break out of it? The good news is we totally can. This isn't about deleting all your accounts and going to live in the woods. It's about taking back control. So let's look at some actual, practical ways to reclaim authentic connection in our lives.
All right, this slide is basically a powerful toolkit. First, create tech-free zones. Seriously, just make meals of phone-free time. It's a game changer. Use your phone's built-in app timers to put a cap on that mindless scrolling. And be an active curator of your feed. Unfollow accounts that drain your energy. And maybe even follow a few that challenge you or introduce new ideas. Find an artist, a scientist, a historian, somebody to deliberately broaden your perspective.
And that is the key takeaway. This is not an all-or-nothing game. The real goal here is to become an intentional user. Before you open an app, just ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is it to connect with a specific person, to learn something new, or am I just scrolling out of pure habit? Shifting from a passive consumer to an active, intentional user is the single most powerful change you can make. So, I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about. As you go about your digital life, just try to be more mindful of what you're seeing and why you're seeing it. Are you actively making a choice to engage with the world and be curious? Or are you simply listening to the echo of an algorithm? The answer, I think, can change everything.